Welcome, everyone. The European Council has only been an official EU institution since 2009, when the Lisbon Treaty entered into force. However, its history already dates back to 1974 and even before that. The European Council comprises the heads of state and government of all EU member states. It decides on the EU's broad political directions and takes high-level decisions. Let's have a look at its historical evolution, its various roles, and its internal organization. The European Council was not part of the original EU institutions of the 1950s and 60s. But not long after the founding of the European communities, the heads of state and government met at a few occasions over the course of the 1960s. Eventually, the European Council was created in 1974 for the purpose of providing a venue for the informal exchange of ideas among heads of state and government. It played an important role in the negotiations of the various EU treaties, provided leadership and a long-term vision, as well as informally contributed to EU decision-making. However, the European Council existed only informally. Only the single European Act, which entered into force in 1987, vaguely recognized the European Council by mentioning it. And the Maastricht Treaty, which entered into force in 1993, contained the provision that the European Council was to define general political guidelines. It was then only the 2007 Lisbon Treaty that officially recognized the European Council as a full-fledged EU institution. The European Council plays an important role in taking fundamental and highly political decisions for European integration. It is not involved in the actual day-to-day business of making EU laws, but it rather plays a guiding role, providing leadership and a long-term vision for the EU. Within this guiding function, the European Council fulfills four main policy roles. First, it initiates, promotes, and drives policy. Second, it contributes to the coordination of EU policies across various policy areas. Third, the European Council serves as a forum to build trust among EU member states at the highest political level. And fourth, in some cases, the European Council takes the final decision. The European Council can take decisions on a range of policy areas. Most notably, the European Council takes key decisions on the overall direction of political and economic integration. It also takes core decisions on EU internal economic issues, EU foreign policy, budget disputes, treaty revisions, applications by possible new EU member states, and institutional reforms. It also proposes or appoints key EU leaders, such as the Commission President and the High Representative. The default voting rule of the European Council is unanimity, unless the treaty provides otherwise, which is, for example, the case for the election of the President of the European Council. Yet, the theoretical possibility of a qualified majority vote does not mean that it actually is implemented. Voting, especially majority voting, remains a rare incident. The outcome document of a European Council meeting is called the European Council Conclusions. The European Council comprises the heads of state and government of all EU member states, plus the President of the European Council, and the President of the European Commission. The term heads of state and government is used since in some countries the president, thus the head of state, rather than the prime minister or chancellor, thus the head of government, has the political powers and responsibilities pertaining to the decisions taken in the European Council. European Council meetings take place twice every 6 months, but special meetings are always possible. These meetings are called EU summits, and they usually take place in Brussels. European Council meetings are convened by its president. The Lisbon Treaty introduced the role of the President of the European Council as a full-time position. It also postulates that the President must not hold any other national office at the same time. The term of office of the European Council President is 2.5 years, renewable once. The current President of the European Council is Charles Michel. The tasks of the President are to chair and facilitate consensus at European Council meetings. He or she prepares the meetings and ensures continuity within the European Council. This can be quite important since national elections can change European Council compositions on a rolling basis. The President also reports to the European Parliament after each meeting and represents the European Union on common foreign and security policy, but without prejudice to the powers of the High Representative of the Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy. The European Council plays an important role in the EU by deciding on the EU's broad political directions. It has evolved from an informal to a formal institution that is central to EU politics.